All right, everybody, come on in, come on in. Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk podcast with Maggie and Lucy. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. You may know me from my cooking channel. I make food and femininity content, and together with Lucy, we are the proud founders of the Finishing School for the Modern Woman, where we teach women of all ages in the real world how to be the best version of themselves, leading with femininity, elegance, and etiquette. We have basic classes on relationships. We have advanced classes on wife lessons. And we just wrapped up the dining section of our flagship intermediate course. So twice a week, what we like to do is come on here to the virtual world with you all and give you our take as the older women teaching the young. We have a combined over 40 years of marriage experience. And so that's what we teach from. Lucy, please introduce yourself and let us know what are we reacting to today.
Hi, Maggie. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, I'm Lucy. I have a small channel that with content about femininity, elegance, and things that impact women over a certain age. And with the modern world, the modern women, how we see things a little bit different nowadays, this topic that we're going to see is going to be a young lady showing us the modern thought. And I think that not too long ago, I saw a comment from someone in our channel that said, you guys don't talk about anything positive about women or something like that. And I think that this is an example on some of the, I guess, interesting things that we can learn from young women right now. And one positive things that I did learn in real life was somebody at work, we were talking about, modern life, and she is, I think she's a millennial or maybe a Gen Z, or I'm not really sure. And I started talking about, femininity and how men love us to be as womanly and as elegant and as delicate as we're supposed to be. And, one of the things she said was, Lucy, I wish I would have spoken to somebody like this when I was younger to appreciate, because now she sees the difference between men that appreciate femininity and men that, that just, when you're not feminine, they don't even pay attention to you. So again, it's really interesting to start seeing some of the conversations, and young ladies are starting to realize how important it is to be feminine, elegant, delicate, and appreciate our men for who they are.
Music to my ears. And yes, ladies, I was talking to my man earlier, so I'll go ahead and give you a free one before we even get into it. And he actually said, you and Lucy have gone above and beyond, because traditionally we are responsible for our own. So if Lucy and I had daughters, we would make sure our daughters had what they needed to be successful. That's what other cultures do. And there's no reason why people should stop what they're doing to help those of us who didn't know. And unfortunately, a lot of women haven't seen it. A lot of women in the modern age have been raised to believe, there really is no difference between a man and a woman. Y'all know where I stand on that. So if this is new to you, we believe in traditional values. That's our first disclaimer. This content isn't for everyone, but it is for the young ladies who still want a traditional relationship in the modern world, especially if you're still in your prime and you can do something about it. Maybe we are the example that you did not see. And then also, if you want to watch the video without our commentary, it's linked in the description. We are going to play and pause it and then give you our take. We always like to hear whatever you all have to say. This video is called The Diary of a Modern Woman, and this is Sarah Eaton. I think I've seen her once before. All right, so we definitely want to hear from the men what you think about femininity, because Lucy said women who aren't feminine get overlooked, or ladies, sometimes they get looked at for reasons that you may not want. All right, so your choice. We got Jessica in the house. We got Jurgen here across the pond. Beek says hi. Thank you so much. Just another Mark says nothing positive spoken about over here. Not true. These two women are very positive. It just doesn't sound like it to the uninitiated. Game is game, and these two are elite tier. You are too kind, Mark. Thank you. Discipled One says, says, a word to women, femininity is a turn on. All right, Instagram. Hello, C. Irving, and thank you all, gentlemen, for the support and feedback. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to watch this young lady and her take, and we will give you our take. So let's see if I come here and come here. All right, so this is only an 8-minute video, and so I'm going to get it started, and then we will pause and see what we think.
About a marriage. They find an average looking months, if not years, planning, and she's getting all of the attention through all of the planning, all of the design, the trips, the parties. She's obsessed with the attention that she's getting from being a fiance and eventually having her wedding day. In fact, her wedding becomes her entire identity, where she might even lose
Uh-oh. I think we lost it. So again, I think I was getting a long delay on the video. I'm not sure if you all were. Maybe she can play it again. We lost Maggie, so we're waiting for her to get back in. And now I remember who I remember that video, because I don't know if you guys know, but the minute that we end our live streams, I find the video to send it out to her. And I would rather react when we're meeting rather than reacting after seeing it. So I didn't remember what this video was about. This is a good one.
Okay, were you all able to see the video? Obviously, I was struggle streaming.
We were seeing her, and then the voice was delayed, so it was confusing. So you may want to play it from the beginning again.
Okay, I'm going to play it from the beginning again. Let's go back. And we'll do about the first few moments.
A lot of women dream of a wedding, but never think about a marriage. They find an average looking man with an average job, and that's fine for her as long as she gets a fat rock to brag about it on social media and to her friends. The sensation of being desired by a man and envied by women, and happiness in all of the attention that she's getting to being newly engaged. She feels like all of her dreams are coming true because everyone has always told her that marriage is the best day of her entire life. She spends months, if not years, planning, and she's getting all of the attention through all of the planning, all of the design, the trips, the parties. She's obsessed with the attention that she's getting from being a fiance and eventually having her wedding day. Her wedding becomes her identity, where she might even lose a couple friends about this for her entire life. And then poof, it's all gone. The exciting, she's married. There's no more, there's no more excitement. There's no more fulfillment. The future is here, and it's boring. No more life. No more up, work, your bills, being out, and it's boring. It's mundane. She rolls over, looks at her husband, and realizes that this is not the man that she married. So she starts.
Okay, so hopefully you all were able to hear and see that time. Struggle streaming, it's not a stream unless it's a struggle stream. So this woman is talking about how modern women romanticize marriage for the sake of all the attention it brings them. And this makes me really sad because those of us who prioritize relationship, I mean, if you were raised to be a wife like Lucy and I were, you actually looked forward to being married. You actually looked forward to having a husband and family and taking care of the home and being a support system. I had never even thought about this as the driver, but unfortunately, a lot of women, they look at everything that leads up to being married as this is like that attention seeking behavior. I am the star of the show. It's all about me. Everybody's waiting on me, fawning over me. And like she said in the video, she wants this fat rock that she can brag to all of her friends. Doesn't matter if that man is, putting himself into debt for something that is ridiculously overpriced. It doesn't matter if you are putting on a production for people who don't really care that much about you and are going to talk about you as soon as the event is over. You want all eyes on you. And this is a problem. Unfortunately, we love social media as a tool. We talk about it often, but ladies, if you are addicted to these things and if you have to live your life for other people to see and comment on, then you're not really in the moment. And unfortunately, a lot of men have seen that and they're just kind of like, yeah, it's not worth it. What would you add, Lucy?
And unfortunately, I was watching the Happy Wife content this morning at 10 o'clock this morning. And she said something about men that I truly believe that some men are kind of bewitched by women and they go along with all the stuff that these attention seeking women, and they think that that's okay. They allow that behavior to continue because that's a woman thing. But again, that's not a good woman's behavior. A woman that wants that much of attention, that later on, I feel I have seen and have experienced that they are liabilities because they're always going to be wanting the attention to them, always the eyes on me. And again, for me, it's hard to believe the amount of attention that some women want, that it's kind of scary for somebody to be wanting that much attention, not realizing that this is just a little grain of sand in the entire ocean of a marriage that she's going to be presented. So it's fascinating about the attention seeking behavior that some younger women have been celebrated for.
So I definitely want to see what you all are saying in the chat. But ladies, let me go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off now. I'm going to tell you, like mean old Mr. said, the marriage is not about you. The wedding is not about you. Yes, we celebrate. Yes, it is a festive time. Yes, everybody gets dressed up and there's a party. But historically, the reason why marriages happen were to bring two families together, to continue something that those two people on their own could not achieve. It could be family, it could be wealth building, it could be legacy, it could be anything. But from the traditional sense, two families were now being united, and that's what we are celebrating. So you are a part of it. It's not about you. This is not about you having the ring and the dress and all of these, vendors at your beck and call to make a perfect day. It's not about that. It's about celebrating the beginning of a life together, a legacy, a lineage, a family, two families coming together. And yes, celebrating love, and there's going to be food and a pretty dress and all of that. But if you start to think, like Lucy said, that this is all about you, the moment that party is over, then you're going to be down in the dumps like, oh man, you know what? Nobody's really calling to check on me anymore. Nobody's asking me if I like this flavor or that flavor. And ladies, what that says to men is, unless it's about you, can't get right. Nobody's going to be okay. And if you've heard that one, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy, That's not a good thing, ladies. All right. So let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We struggle stream over here. You all are saying hello to each other. Discipled One says that women love to be a bride, but not a wife. And this makes me sad, ladies, because you are a bride for one day. You are a wife for the rest of your life. And I would ask yourself, ladies, here's the thing. Ask yourself if you want a husband or if you want a groom. So are you signing up for a man to get dressed up and be your Ken doll on the cake? Or are you asking a man to cover you with his life if need, to sacrifice, to provide, to work until his back breaks, to make sure that you have everything you need and then some? So if you want a husband and not a groom, you need to be a wife and not a bride. And ladies, you are a wife before you are married. Let us continue. Lindbergh says, attention. Oh, thank you all so much coming through, Frida. I appreciate that. Thanks for what you all do, Lucy and Maggie. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Very generous. Thank you, especially on a struggle stream. All right, let's go back up to what you all are saying, and then we will continue with the video. Lindbergh says that attention is the currency for modern women. And here's the thing, ladies, I think it's part of our nature. I think we like attention. We like, nice things. We like that, shiny new toy. That's just part of who we are. But we have to be aware of that, ladies, and not let it get out of hand. Remember that wedding is a day. It is a moment in time. But you should look to create a life that is a collection of moments that are celebrated, even if it's just quietly between you and your husband. So be very careful about all that attention, because not all attention is good attention, ladies. All right. Just another Mark says, if women are taught to look forward to the wedding instead of the marriage, ruin will quickly follow. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see if we can go back into the struggle video and pick up where we left off, and then see what else she has to say.
To think to herself, like, I need a baby. I need to fill this void for excitement. And the crazy part about it is, in quest for attention, she'll look at her husband and start to think that maybe he's the reason that she's so unhappy because she married wrong. But nope, she'll still decide to have that baby. One, because she still is in love with her husband, and two, she's so desperate for that dopamine hit of attention that she's going to get from being pregnant. So all of the attention, the belly rubs, the checkups, her husband's giving her more praise and more attention. She's getting attention online. She's having the maternity shoot. She's having the baby shower. And she's right to the beginning, where all of the attention is on her all the time. These celebrities that has her shit together all of the time, and her house clean as if she has maids, and all of these things are just going to fall into place. She's happy about that. But then what happens, she has that baby. There's no more attention, no more validation. Her husband's fault because he's working on the internet about her hormones and how she's all alone, and she soaks herself up
I think we lost it again. Let's see. She might have another application running in the back.
no attention for basically being an adult.
It wasn't playing for you all?
It's a very choppy. She says something, then it stops, and then it starts playing again, but then she's still in the picture, and then we hear the sound in the background. So there might be something in your background running that it's delaying it.
Yeah, okay. Let me see what's going on. Let me try to minimize everything. I'm going to go back and stop clicking on it. Let me go back and see if you all can hear her.
She's having the maternity shoot. She's having the baby shower. And right back to the beginning where all of the attention is on her all of the time. In fact, she's glamorized motherhood so far that she thinks that she's going to look like these celebrities that has her shit together all of the time. And her house is clean as if she has maids, and all of these things are just going to fall into place. And she's happy about that. But then what happens? She has that baby. There's no more attention. There's no more validation until she becomes a struggling married woman where everything is difficult and it's all her husband's fault because he's working too much, even though she begged for this baby. Now she's crying on the internet about her hormones and how she's all alone, and she soaks herself up in social media advice smothered in your husband dislikes you if, or he's cheating no matter what, and she starts to believe it. And her neurotic behavior becomes her entire identity in her relationship with her husband. She's lonely, bored, she's uninspired. Being a mom isn't what she thought it was. Motherhood isn't what she thought it was. And everything that she has ever dreamed of and begged for suddenly seems mundane and unfulfilling because she's getting no attention for basically being an adult. No one really cares that she had kids. So she's away from that dopamine hit, that attention, that validation, the stuff that makes her feel good is no longer there. So what does she do?
All right, so let's pause there and see if we can unpack this a little bit. Wow, this sounds like a train wreck waiting to happen. Apologies, everyone. But I want to unpack what she said about this dopamine hit. Ladies, to me, this is what happens when you live your life based on either social media or the movies or Disney or what someone who has no relationship experience has told you a relationship is or should be. And this is the problem that I see a lot of modern women. We talked about this, or I think I talked about this on one of the streams I reviewed for Kevin Samuels. My pastor told me years ago in marriage counseling that the difference between expectation and reality, that difference is disappointment. And we have so many women that have these unrealistic expectations about what a real relationship is, what a real marriage is, with the breakdown of the family. And I don't have statistics here, but with the breakdown of the family, and we have all these broken homes and single moms and, relationship coaches and people who aren't living in the real world, women are being set up to expect something that will never be, so that they think there's something wrong with it. Those of you all who have children, yes, children are a blessing, but there are some very difficult times. It's stressful. That's a whole human being with its own moods and attitudes, and you will be celebrated again in the moment when you're married and expecting everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. That's great. But yes, that baby shower and those gifts and all of that will fade away. And then will come the real work in the real world. You'll have crying fits and tantrums, and there's sickness and all of the things that just come along with real life. So this is the problem, ladies. If you're getting advice from people who have not done the thing, if you are watching and hanging your hat on an example that is something that you see and it's not real to you, it's not somebody you can say, you know what, I'm really struggling. Can I talk to you about, I'm going through these terrible twos, I'm making it up. Then you're setting yourself up for failure because you believe in a fantasy, and that bubble will absolutely burst. And again, if you're doing it for the guise of other people, not because you really want to be a mom, or it's going to be difficult, but you're ready to do it, you're going to destroy your own life and, unfortunately, maybe even others. What would you add, Lucy?
Yes, and it seems to me that there are a lot of women that live their lives on appearance. How will this look to the outside world, instead of looking inward and making sure that you are all together to become part of a union? Again, I do see a lot of younger women sitting in their own rooms watching social media, and that becomes their reality. Unfortunately, I was just talking to someone at work about her younger sister, being in her room and just learning things from social media without going outside. Again, the more time you spend in the real world, you'll be able to differentiate what's real and what's not. For the most part, social media is make believe, because again, that you only see it on the camera lens, but you don't know what's going on outside. You don't know what's going on in their surroundings of that person that is pretending to be the perfect bride or having the perfect wedding. We don't know if that person is a bridezilla. We don't even know if that person is really getting married. So again, you young ladies, stop paying attention to the things that you see in social media. Deal with women that do have a successful marriage. Talk with women that have had a long marriage. Talk to them, because they're going to tell you that marriage is not, it's not just the wedding. There's a lot involved, especially if you're thinking about having children and, thinking about the, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, till death do us part. That is something that we have, for whatever reason, we have forgotten, that we as women, when we get married, I am sorry, the dogs are crazy. There's a delivery coming. We forget that there's a duty that we are expected to meet. Anyway, let me mute. Let me go get that delivery.
I absolutely love it. We're going to see what you all are saying in the chat. Welcome to a wonderful struggle stream. But yes, let me see what you all are saying. And then I want to come back to what Lucy was saying, because I have some additional thoughts. C. Irving is saying, I agree, Lucy. Also, I don't think these reality TV shows help either. It's sending the wrong message about marriage. Ladies, reality TV is not real. Social media is not real. It's what people want you to see. Let's be honest. Let's tell the whole truth. We share what we want you to see, right? Now, here's the thing. Social media and TV, all of that can be entertaining, but you have to be able to make the distinction between the real world and what is just aspirational or wish upon a star. And I love what Lucy said about listening to people who have actually done it. It doesn't have to be us, ladies, but I tell the young ladies that I talk to, or the women that want relationship, you need to make friends with people in relationships. Your single girlfriends are not going to be able to tell you what sustains a marriage. If you are struggling with a difficult teenager, I talk to people who have kids in their 20s, adult children, who can tell me, you know what? There was a phase when they were a teenager, but believe me, they come back around. That is helpful for me. So whatever phase of life you're in, there's somebody that's done it before. You are not new. There is nothing new underneath the sun. Even that comes from scripture. So ladies, again, that ego and that pride that can't nobody tell you anything is not helping you. Again, circling back to what I said about two families coming together, that wedding is not just about you. There is a whole extended family. So you have a built-in support system. That's another reason why you should have children within marriage. These women that are just out here popping out kids because they want to, then when it gets tough and the man that you had a child with never wanted that baby, and you're trying to figure this out, you never built a relationship with a mother-in-law or cousins or aunties or whatever. That was the family unit, the way that we were coming up. So that when life got difficult, you had people who had been there before, who could help you, who could counsel you, who had your best interest in mind. You all are talking to strangers who don't know you and who really don't care. And they're just telling you to go, put something on a vision board and manifest it, and it's going to come true. That is not true. So make sure that you have people that you have access to that have done what you are trying to do. Whatever it is, it could be business, it could be scholar, academic, but don't just be, trying to make stuff happen and you don't know what you're doing. It's not helping you. All right. Discipled One says, do you want a husband or a groom? Well, I'm hoping it's helpful. Ladies, sometimes if we turn that thing around and look at ourselves, we can answer our own questions. All right. And again, Frito, thank you. Bert says, some of these women change when you put a ring on their finger. And it's sad, ladies. That's what a lot of men are afraid of, is they don't really know the real you. Are you here just to get the ring so you can flex on other people? Or are you really ready to lock arms and we're going to do this for life, come whatever may? Hello, Rebecca is here. Thank you all so much for hanging in there with us. Lindbergh says marriage is constant work. And yes, ladies, here's the thing. Not everybody is cut out to be a wife, and that's okay. You need to know that. We talk about this in the wife lessons. Registration is open. We will be teaching it again in March. You can go ahead and get started with self-study. Go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. But ladies, we talk about what a wife is and what she isn't, what a husband is and what he isn't. And if you don't know that being married is a job, it's a whole role, then you are unprepared. If you think it's just going to be a party and we're going to be just like fun roommates and it's just kind of be like, yeah, now what do we do? You're unprepared. So that's going to be in the wife archetypes class. You all can get more information about that. But just know that being married is a job because you want your husband to work every day. Or do you want him to just come home and say, I don't know, what do you want to do? I think you want a man who's ready to work and who can communicate that. All right. Let's see what else you all are saying in the chat, and then we'll go back to our struggle video. Hopefully it'll play. Mark says, when women outside ask me why I don't have a wife or children yet, I tell them I'm still preparing for that. And they respond with, you're more than ready for a wife and a few babies. I'm speechless. Lucy has said this before, ladies. I think men do take the responsibility a lot more seriously than we do because they know the buck stops with them. Men aren't going to get into relationships, let alone marriage, carelessly. So if you think you're just going to be out here having your fun and then when you're ready, you can snap your fingers and get the man of your dreams, you are confused. Men know that when what hits the fan, we're going to be looking at them. So my man will tell you, mean old mister said, yeah, 50-50 goes out the window when it gets real. So all of you all who are sitting here saying that, oh, it doesn't matter, we can be equal partners. Wait till you get our age. We're not built for it, ladies, but you can keep telling yourself that you are. All right, let's see what else you all are saying, and then we will go back. Oh. Disciple One says, you thought Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood had a lot of make-believe. Yeah, so ladies, just know entertainment is to entertain you. It is not the real world, and that's okay. All right, let's go back in.
She starts posting her kids online. She becomes a little mommy influencer. And again, she's using her kids to feel that validation and that attention and fill that void that life is suddenly exciting through likes, attention, and validation from other moms. Even though deep down she's resenting her husband the entire time for leaving whenever he wants and being able to be child free, even though he misses key moments in their kids growing up, but she'll never admit that to herself. She'll never look at him and appreciate him because she feels so resentful that she's not getting the love and care or attention that she deserves. And her husband might even recognize her depression or realize that nothing is filling the void, and he will change everything about himself to cater to her and give her everything that she needs. But what he doesn't know is he can't compete with the instant gratification that she's getting on social media. He doesn't know that he was doomed from the start. He doesn't know that his wife is spending countless hours on social media being filled with garbage about how he's a piece of crap dad and a father that doesn't show up and a husband that does nothing and doesn't fill her emotional needs. And she'll start to believe it. She leaves out the part where she uses all of these things as her primary sources of happiness and uses her husband to fulfill voids. And when he can't, he falls short. So again, he's set up from the start to be letting her down. She's depressed. She's lonely. It's not what she thought it was going to be. And then what happens? All of her friends start getting divorced. They start glamorizing divorce and being single and having fun. And she wasn't thinking about divorce, but now all of a sudden, all of her friends are getting divorced. So she starts thinking about it. And her friend, Susie Q, starts telling her all of the traits of narcissism and all of the toxic behaviors of her ex-husband. And she starts to compare her great financially stable husband to her best friend's ex-husband, and now all of a sudden her great husband is a narcissist. Now she's contemplating divorce. Now she's thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. She sees her friends getting attention and praise for being divorced, for having the empowerment to leave a financially abusive or mentally unstable situation. And she is thinking, oh my God, I want that praise. I want the attention. So leaving my husband is the right thing to do. And she convinces herself that her husband is the problem.
All right, so hopefully that played. Everything okay, Lucy? Oh, y'all, we are having one today. All right, so hopefully you all were able to see that. I know we've been struggling, but I wanted to stop there. And are you all seeing the demise that is happening? Yes. So now this woman who wanted all this attention from the wedding day, and then when that fizzled, she got all this attention from being a new mom. And then when reality sits in, instead of coming together with her husband to say, okay, these are some tough years, because ladies, let me tell you, being married, having a young growing family, it is very stressful. I remember, I mean, there's two of you, and then if you have two back to back, all of a sudden there's four. And it's kind of like, how did this happen? So it is real. And instead of turning towards each other for that support and for better or worse, did you hear where she said now this woman in her depression, she's looking at her husband as the reason why she's not happy. If you heard her, she also said that this woman who is addicted to social media, that's where she gets all of her happiness from. Ladies, one man who is doing his absolute level best cannot compete with hundreds, with thousands of likes. This is the reason why a lot of men are weary of women who have social media profiles, unless it's a business or you're promoting something that is productive. But if you just live your life on social media, I've seen it. People who live their life for that response, when they don't get that response, everything could be fine in the real world. But if that virtual world is not giving them that shot in the arm, that dopamine hit, everything is for naught. And then you have a real man who works hard and comes home to you every day and is doing his best. But all of a sudden, the budget that you all agreed to live within, now he's financially abusive. The structure that he put around, where you go, knowing your comings and goings so he can protect you, now he's controlling. The fact that he wants you to think about the family and what's better for the family and not all your, single friends out here, now he's a narcissist. So if you see what's happening now, this man who is giving you a life that you could not have on your own, now he is the source of all your problems. And your friends who are out here graduating from their divorces and selling you on a fake reality that it's going to be better to be out here single because they don't want to feel alone in their choices. They're going to convince you that you should do the same. To me, it's just a complete tragedy unfolding. What would you add, Lucy?
Sorry, my reaction. My husband, we just got a set of new bar stools, and he's putting them together. And he just showed me the end result, and they're just beautiful. He did great. Anyway, going back to the amount of attention that some of these women are requesting from millions of people around the world that really they don't have your best interest. Trust me, you put your business out there, that's all they want. They want to see the gossip because, again, they're looking to see, am I doing better than this person is? And again, these women that are sharing their business on social media wanting validation for the behavior. And notice on the comments, usually are other women telling them that they're doing the right thing. And, if a woman comes in saying, well, maybe it shouldn't be that way, the mob comes after the woman that had that different perspective. So again, ladies, just be careful with the information that you're getting on social media. All these women wanting you to follow their bad behavior. Also, if you're getting counsel from online, it doesn't matter if that person has a PhD. That PhD, if the person is not married and is giving you information about marriage, how is she knowing that just because she's got a doctorate or a PhD, she hasn't lived it? So experience when it comes to real life, it's better than having that paper that says that you studied that, but you've never lived it.
You know, that is such a good point. And thank you, Irving, for the €5. He says this endless social media scrolling has her searching for greener grass that is not there. Living life on social media is a big red flag for me. So yes, ladies, you've heard it from the men. I'm going to come back to the comments. But Lucy brings up a really good point. And this one is a little bit of a delicate one because I understand people can get that book learning, as my man calls it. You can go to school and you can study anything. But I do think there is a wisdom that you get from having gone through. That is why, ladies, we do believe that the older women should teach the young women, the older men should teach the young men because they have been through that phase of life. Take relationships out of it. Take any topic that you're interested in. Would you want a travel guide who has never traveled? Would you want a chef who has never cooked anything? Would you want anybody to teach you something if they don't have any real world experience? And I'm all for education. I got degrees and degrees, that's fine. But how many of us get that certificate and then we go on that job and we realize how much we don't know because we haven't done it? So ladies, I would encourage you, have people in your network that really have done whatever you're trying to do, because your single friends and your professional friends, even if they mean well, they're not going to be able to help you. All right. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. And then we're going to come back around to the video. Oh, yes. So we talked about social media. Irving says Lucy is right. Spending hours scrolling on social media and investing in other people's lives is time consuming from reality. Because that's true, ladies. Once you put this phone down, you're not going to get away from yourself. The life that you've created for yourself is always going to be there. That distraction may help you kick the can down the road for a little bit, but you're always with yourself. All right. Lindbergh says corporate interests have funded and marketed the fantasy world of fairy tales to modern women for profit. This is so true. My man was telling me he works for a big company and they target women and teenagers to sell their product. Because ladies, we are the consumers. That's why I'm talking to the young wives tonight about simplification. It's okay to know that, and it's okay to put some structure around yourself. Because if left to us, like Lucy said, we're the followers. We want every trend. If this is the color of the year, we want everything in that color. We have a wonderful home that's provided for us, but you see somebody else with a McMansion. Now you need a pool and a bowling alley when you were happy with what you had. So just know that, ladies. There are companies out there that know we're ready to swipe our card and to take that trip and to do all the things. So you have to remember that you're building someone else's dream. You're funding someone else's bottom line. You're making sure someone else's kids go to private school. So just make sure you prioritize your own family first, because nobody else is going to care. That's what your husband's going to be focused on. All right. Disciple One says, ladies, you need to dump Susie Q. Yes, your know-it-all girlfriends. And I'm here for girlfriends, but ladies, once you get in a relationship, once you get married, Lucy has talked about this, your circle of friends is going to change. And it should change. The girls that are fine to go out, happy hour and, running the streets until late at night, they don't have your best interest at heart. Doesn't make them a bad person, but they're not going to be good for your marriage. And if your relationship and your marriage is a priority, you need to choose wisely, including your friends. Oh, it's what working now? Sorry, y'all. Bert says she's just a drama queen that wants attention from people that likes to feed into drama. Interesting. Disciple One says, get me a robe. I got the shawl on, y'all. It's cold, but I'm glad this is helping. And Jurgen says, this is why I don't have any social media. Here's another thing, ladies, I'll give you. Mino Mister said, oftentimes men use social media to go get information if they have it at all. They'll go to YouTube to research how to assemble some stools, and then they'll come back and do it in the real world. Okay. So ladies, be careful about this. If you are on social media, if you do have a man or a relationship, guard his privacy. Do not put him on social media just because you are. And here's what Mino Mister said. The amount of social media that he had before you is the amount of social media that he wants to have after you. So just because you got a new man, or just because you all are going here and there, whatever, if he wasn't showcasing it to the world, he doesn't want to do that with you. So if you want to tell everybody, and I like to share, but I am very considerate about what I share. Okay. So ladies, don't drag your men kicking and screaming into taking these selfies and posting everywhere so everybody can size him up and say, that's all she's got. Because that's what they're saying. Okay. These people do not care. If you got a good one, hold on and enjoy the silence. All right. Just another Mark says, misery loves company, ladies. Don't fall for it. Yes. Oftentimes, your single friends want you to be their ride or die in their singleness. Man, y'all are coming through on the struggle stream. Thank you so much. Disciple One with the $4.99 says, not only that Maggie needs a preaching robe, but Lucy needs one also. Preach, ladies, preach. I think it's so interesting how many men are in this space. And Lucy and I are the older women teaching the young. But ladies, I will say this, and I don't say it to brag. Look at the spaces that you frequent on social media. Are the men that you want in those spaces? Or do they watch that same content? And I know men and women are different, but if you've really been taking relationship advice from somebody who is just like, to you, the creme de la creme, show one of her videos to your man. Show one of me and Lucy's videos to your man. Pick anything and go show it to the man that you have or the man that you want. And listen to what he says about it. His opinion should be more important. All right. So if you're getting feedback from somebody and your man's like, yeah, let me tell you the real story here, I would ask you to consider it. All right. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Bert says, Maggie and Lucy, these women should appreciate y'all for the education of how a woman should be. Thank you. This is our heart, but this is also our hobby and our passion project. And Lucy will tell you, and I will tell you, our relationships are the priority. So we are here and we hope that it's helpful and we are grateful. But please believe that our men come first. And ladies, that's how you should be in your marriage. All right. And Lindbergh says, in a marriage, there are boundaries. All right. So let's go back in and see what else we can get from the struggle stream.
So she gets that divorce. She gets to claim that he was abusive and narcissistic. Again, she gets all of the attention and the validation and the dopamine hit that she has had her entire life of people praising her and empowering her for poor choices or making the wrong decision. And she's back in her element because she's getting all of the attention and praise for her divorce. She thinks to herself, it's better this way. She feels like it was all worth it. And she ends up a single mom actually doing it all alone, whereas before she had 50% of help. So she gives up 50% of help for 100% struggle. It's just the energy and attention she's always needed, and she feels empowered. She's back to herself because she's free. She'll post all over social media that her ex was a narcissist and a piece of crap and all men are shitty. And she'll again get that dopamine hit and that validation from all of the women online that can relate. She'll leave out all of the parts where she never really took her marriage seriously in the first place because all she really wanted was the wedding, not the marriage. She'll leave out the parts where she regrets having children or hates her life choices. Gets more attention than ever, all of the affirmations for being a boss babe queen. She'll transform herself and call herself a queen even though her kids are at home on an iPad not getting any kind of attention or being left with the grandparents or getting a babysitter and there's no real parenting happening. But she's an independent boss babe who's doing it all on her own. She'll get child support, she'll get alimony, she'll have a part-time little job, and her parents will pick up the slack that her ex-husband no longer can fill as the ex. She'll have distasteful behavior, she'll have multiple guys around her kids, she'll talk about situationships and her horrible dating experiences and get all of the validation yet again through her dating experiences and her life. No one bats an eye at the understanding that this is all a cry for help, a need for attention, and the narcissism spewing out. The constant grandiose personality. She'll fake everything along the way, and she'll say that everyone else is the problem, even though she's repeating the same cycle of needing praise and constant attention. She'll never tell you that she made a permanent decision on temporary feelings. She'll end up with multiple baby daddies, multiple guys, being ran through, not understanding why she can't find a good man, crying on the internet about where did all the men go? Where did all the good men go? But she doesn't realize that she left the good man out of boredom. She left the good man because somebody was in her ear telling her that it wasn't a good lifestyle. She will look for that good man in every single man that she dates after that. What's crazy is she will literally continue this cycle until she's burnt out, until she's all I hate men, anti-men, cat lady, 45 years old, wondering what happened in her life. She'll wonder what happened in her life without ever having looked in the mirror to make changes to be a better person. The cycle will continue. Okay, bye.
OMG. Well, talk about crashing out. You all, it would be funny if it weren't true, but so many women have had the opportunity for such a good life and they just blew it. And ladies, I'm going to tell you, you don't get multiple chances of this. You get one opportunity to get the outcome you want. If you are extremely lucky and work very hard, you might get a second, but there's no guarantee, because even if you do, you have all this damage and maybe children and whatever from the past. So if you have a good man, hold on. And ladies, let me just tell you, especially young ladies, good men are boring, but they're boring in a good way. Men who are consistent, who work hard, who keep 20% to give you 80%, who sacrifice, who provide, who eat at the restaurant that you want to eat, watch the stupid movies you want to watch, go on the ridiculous vacations that you want to do. Good men don't require that much. They just want a good woman. So if you are going to blow it up because you got someone in your ear telling you that everyday life should be something out of a movie or something out of a romance novel, you're going to trade in consistency for chaos. And that's what we see is happening to a lot of modern women. And it's sad. This video is the diary of modern women, but she started off as a young bride, then had a baby. And then when life really set in, she blamed her husband for everything and then ended up alone. And you can ask yourself, is that the outcome that you want? So many women, yes, there are some lean years, but when you hold on and you get to the end, when you get our age and you're really looking back at, 10 and 20 years of being together, you wouldn't trade that for anything. What would you add, Lucy?
And sadly, they don't realize that stability that man brings, they see it as boring. That stability is what will keep your marriage going till the end. You need that because, again, we women, we are chaos. There are books written about us. Chaos is a woman. So again, we need to understand that we do have that emotional volcano in us, and we will try to justify our chaos in different ways, but there's always that man next to you that will maintain your life as just stable, as boring as you think it is. But boring is good. I call it uneventful. An uneventful life, it's an amazing life, because again, for me, I have my husband. He's here. He's just there. Anything I ask for, anything that I'm craving for, any comment that I say, he's paying attention and he's here. He doesn't need to be out there, living it up like a lot of women, especially the extroverted women. They like to have a lot of things happening in the world. And those are the ones that really need to understand that married life is going to be it's not going to have those ups and downs. And that is okay. And it's up to us to make our lives, to find our hobbies, to find things to do, to make ourselves busy, because on the other hand, the men are busy. They're doing their thing. So we need to find a way to busy ourselves while they are doing their thing. Because again, these women that have this idea of having the CEO of a major corporation that's going to be spending time with them, That's never going to happen because they are, there's their other wife is the business that made them into the CEO that they are now. So again, stop listening to these Hallmark movies, to these, books and telenovelas that you have the main character that falls in love with you and he's going to take you on a plane ride to Paris overnight. That is a lie. It doesn't happen, especially in normal folks. Maybe if it was Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, okay, maybe once every 2 years. But in real life, that doesn't really happen. I am telling you, it's not going to happen. And it's okay because you need to be at home doing the homey thing. You didn't need to be traveling all over the place.
And just like that, now Lucy is going on. Okay, as your favorite extrovert, y'all, Lucy is right. But here's the thing, ladies, you really have to know yourself, and your hobbies to occupy yourself need to be productive and support your relationship, not detract from your relationship. This is something that I struggle with, but understanding that real relationships take time and take compromise. We're here because my mean old mister said, you need to get that stuff that you do out there. Fine. Those were the marching instructions. So we have the streams, we have the courses, we have everything that we do. And I'm making use of this energy that I have in a way that's productive, in a way that brings honor, and in a way that keeps me occupied. Okay. So also, whether it's around the house or whatever you do, ladies, if the way that you have fun damages your relationship, it's not sustainable. If the way that you have fun means that you need to be out bar hopping and, doing ridiculous things, that's not going to help you. The things that we call, boring and stable, when you get our age, you will crave that because, ladies, you don't have to listen to us, but go look at the 40 and 50 and 60-year-old single women. For the most part, they don't really have anything to show for the last 20, 30 years that they've been doing whatever they want to do. A lot of them are financially not where they want to be because we are chaotic and we are consumers. They haven't had that structure. A lot of them now, their body is starting to break down because we're not built for the long haul. And when I look at them, a lot of them who had a lot of mouth when I was choosing relationship and getting married young, the ones that were saying, oh, you don't need to do all that. These are precisely the ones looking for men to come rescue them from themselves. And ladies, it's too late. And when I asked my man, I asked him about a certain friend of mine, he was like, no. She says she wants it, but she doesn't. She doesn't want that structure. She's never had structure in her life. He all over the place. And he's like, she doesn't have it because she's never wanted it. So ladies, that structure and that provision comes with guardrails. There are some things, I'll give you all one. You all have seen these, shout out to TikTok, these TikToks or videos whenever there's a dance trend, when there's trending audio and everybody's doing a dance. I want to get on board. I want to do it. And I asked my man, I was like, ooh, I want to do a dance to this dance trend. He was like, no, we're not doing that. There's enough people out there dancing. You stay focused and you stay on brand. And I was like, okay. So I dance by myself. He actually said, what you do in the kitchen is enough. If you know my cooking channel, you've seen it. But that's my point, ladies. The relationship comes with rules. And if you want to maintain the relationship, you have to follow those rules. I could be one of these women that, who are you going to tell me what to do? And I'd be out here single, dancing, but trying to find a man to put up with my foolishness. And one of the things I was thinking about earlier today, and then we'll come to the comments to close it out. I see the comments, C. Irving is saying, how much wisdom we have and we're preaching and all of that. But ladies, I'm going to say this. I'll speak for myself. I don't really think I'm that much wiser or better than anybody. But what I know is I've stuck it out. And a lot of you women continue to fail and repeat because you haven't stayed in a relationship long enough to get the level of wisdom that comes after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years knowing somebody. So that is why we say the older women can teach you. Because if you're around your friends who have these chaotic 6-month relationships, situationships, nobody has the life experience that comes from sticking it out. So they can say, yeah, I remember when the kids were young and in school and sleepless nights and all that. Hold on, it will get better. People are going to tell you what you're going through right now is torture because they've never experienced it. So again, ladies, if you have a good one, hold on. All right. There's nothing out here for you. Take it from an older woman. Believe me. All right. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat and then we will wrap it up. All right. Let's go back here. So thank you all so much for the support, Bert. I didn't see this one, but thank you so much. All right. Let's see what you all are saying. Bert says, I don't share my private life. So yes, ladies, respect that. Your men don't want everybody to know. Okay. They don't. Yes, and we are definitely preaching. So hopefully this helps. I'm glad the men say that this is true. Thank you for the support. We appreciate that. So ask yourself, ladies, if this message applies, if you can learn something, that's fine. If not, we always say, do what you want to do. Just be ready for the consequences that come with that. Lindbergh says modern women wash, rinse, and repeat. Unfortunately, the men have seen it multiple times. Irving says, yes, Lucy, a good man provides that stability for the chaos, although social media is focused on merely the superficial things. Absolutely. Just another Mark says, I'm on the board of directors and it's boring. Absolutely. Thank you, Low Star, for the support. Oh, you guys are too funny. You guys like the content. Lindbergh says the crazy part is the single 40 to 60-year-old women that ran amok in their youth pass on the nonsense to younger women. And this is really heartbreaking for me, ladies. So I'll just say this. If your mother didn't teach you how to be a good woman to a good man because she couldn't keep a man, because she didn't have a man, maybe, she didn't prioritize that. Maybe she thought she didn't, need anybody. She could do it all on her own. You are ill prepared and you are out here competing with women who do come from a stable family. So you are missing something. Say what you want to, but if you look at the older women in your family and you would not trade places with them 20 or 30 years from now, you need to move like your hair is on fire and associate with the women who do have the kind of life that you want when you're 50 and 60. Okay. You can love your family, but not everybody is qualified to give you what you need. We know how to go seek out those experts in other things. So look at their life and see if they can do what they're telling you to do. All right. Bert says some women don't even make it past a year. Yeah, ladies, what's your longest relationship? If you don't have marriage experience or decade long, yeah. The International Quiet Storm is here saying special blessings to Maggie and Lucy. By the way, ladies, I never received an answer to my question, who will replace Maggie? Oh, dear. Yes, Saren says Kevin Samuel's advice helped you. Yes, we definitely support the Godfather here. And Discipled One says, ladies, men are looking for results. What are yours? If they're not where you want them to be, it's time to get busy. All right, ladies, the men are speaking and they have their questions. That's all I had. Lucy, what would you say to close us out?
I think I still see that the modern woman, younger modern women, can learn if they are willing to apply the learning or, take heed to the message. I mean, some at 20 years old, they think they know everything, and some of them will find out in real life about their bad decisions. But then they're going to be later on, the ladies at the 40s, 50s, and 60s, wanting to go back in life and do it differently again. So again, we're not here just to tell you because we don't want you to succeed. We want you to succeed as wives, because good wives make good marriages. Good marriages make good families make good societies. Again, it starts small to then, spread it into the bigger picture. So ladies, we're not talking because we just don't want the best for you. We do want the best for you and society. And, and you see the results from the women that have lived a life of chaos. It ends in chaos. Is that really what you want?
I could not have said it better myself. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, thank you all so much for sticking with us through another struggle stream. Lucy and I are here with you all twice a week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern and then Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So we will be back next Wednesday with some more content. Again, we have courses available. You all can go right now. Registration is open again for the finishing school we're currently in the finishing school, the wife lessons. That is our advanced class. We also have the relationship basics. That is our beginner class. All of our classes are now on demand. If you want to do self-study, if you want us to teach you live, registration is open. Wife lessons is coming up. And we invite all of you all to Atlanta. On Friday, April 4th is our happy hour. We're gearing up for our second annual graduation and reunion. So tickets are available at teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. It's going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. at Eclipse di Luna. We have a menu selected by Lucy. It's going to be unlimited beer, sangria, lots of delicious food. You can meet us in person. You can meet our students, and we can't wait to see you all there. So thank you so much. Disciple one is killing me. I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for everything. And we will see you all next week. And so until then, we will say
Adios.
adios.